Hi everybody, so today we're going to be reading Tim/Masky ex-listener. I don't really have much to announce. Let's get straight into the story. Alright y'all, we is in chapter 6. Wyan sat awkwardly on the couch as Tim carefully tried to remove the few glass shards that got stuck in her leg. He was using some kind of tweezers which he just happened to have lying around. She didn't even want to know why he had them on the kitchen floor. Tim was too concentrated on steadying his shaking hands to realize her impatient look. She came here for an interrogation, not for a doctor's appointment. Well, it was kind of her fault for kneeling in broken glass, but she was still trying to help. She was just trying to help him. Even though she was annoyed by this time-wasting activity, she was still kind of flattered by his demand to help her. She still wanted to ask him more questions, though. That never changed. Wyan watched excitingly when he reached the last shard, pulling it out slowly and placing it in the bowl he got with the rest of the glass shards. That looks like the last. I'm not sure if maybe tinier shards got deeper into the skin. For that, I'll need to look close. I'm good. I can take care of myself at home. Wyan really didn't want to waste any more time pulling her legs away from Tim. Tim slowly stood up again with the bowl of bloody glass shards in hand, turning towards the kitchen. Wyan used her time alone to further inspect her pants. Tiny bloody holes were now decorating the plain blue jeans. She really didn't want to buy a new pair. Those $30 could buy her lunch for a week. But on the other hand, it would be hard living with only one pair of jeans. Think of all the sudden laundry she would need to do. An idea flashed in her head, remembering all those cheesy teen magazines she read. Ripped jeans were like a trend now, so she would just have to ruffle up these jeans some more and get the blood out. Okay. Her fashion thoughts were interrupted as Tim came to the living room, an ashtray in hand. You smoke? He asked, holding up the filled ashtray. Digging through her jacket pocket, she pulled out her half-emptied cigarette pack, along with her favorite lighter. Tim smiled, placing the ashtray on the floor, sitting next to it, leaning his back against the couch. Following his lead, Wyan slid down the couch onto the floor, also sitting next to the ashtray. Pulling a cigarette from her pack, she lit it quickly, taking in a deep breath of smoke, holding in the smoke for a bit before letting the clouds of smoke escape her lips and nose. Tim also started smoking slowly, starting to spacing out. Don't smoke, kids. Those are cancer sticks. Anyway, Wyan looked at the man beside her, noticing the sad look in his eye. Something wrong? She turned her head a bit, tapping off the ashes in the ashtray. Tim snapped out of his daze, looking back at Wyan's tired look. Yeah, just a lot has happened these past months. He fueled her curiosity again, jump-starting her detective interrogation skills. Something about marble hornets? She hadn't forgotten the name yet. Something that would have been wrong if she did. She couldn't stop thinking about it. The name itself was so peculiar, so unnerving, even. She couldn't wait to watch it. Tim hummed slightly, leaning his head back on the couch, exhaling a decent amount of smoke before looking over to Wyan. I only knew you for a day and a few days in high school. You should be lucky I told you all that. His tone was a bit threatening, surprising Wyan a little. She had reached his limit. She won't get anything more out of this man today. The only chance might be to befriend him, maybe setting up daily meetings. She smiled to herself. That would get her out of the office and out of her boring daily routine. Why are you smiling like that? Tim inhaled another puff of smoke, examining her smile. How do you like the idea of a daily meetup? I can help you and your friend with this marble hornet stuff. As a detective, that is my job. Wyan's smile widened while proposing that thrilling idea. Tim averted his gaze, staring at his feet skeptically. I don't know. I don't think Jay wants to involve the police in this. What do you think? Wyan leaned in slightly, playing with her cigarette impatiently. I think you'll get involved. I think you'll get too involved with marble hornets anyways. Soon probably being forced to join us. Tim almost sounded a little sad, glancing at Wyan with pity in his eyes. Just don't blame me if you end up like us. And how did you guys end up? He was worrying her a bit. Should she leave this case alone? The image of the tunnel flashed through her mind as she remembered the screams. Tim's screams. Something was going on, and if she would abandon this case, the overwhelming guilt would conquer her one day. Tim mumbled something too quiet for her to hear. The whispering sounds alarmed her, immediately turning her head towards Tim. She was about to ask him what he just said out loud, as a loud vibration shook her torso. A bit frightened by the sudden movement, she reached into her jacket pocket, pulling out an outdated flip phone. Are we in like 1960? How? Are we in the 2000s? Like really old 2000s? Oh my goodness. Opening the loud little phone, she immediately recognized the number. Smiling apologetically at Tim, she smushed her cancer stick into the ashtray, leaving it there before standing up and picking up the phone. Distancing herself from the couch a bit, not liking the thought of someone listening in on her conversation. Hello, Martin? She hissed into the phone, annoyed by his interrupting phone call. Yeah, chill, Ellen. I didn't want to call you either, but my shift is ending and I would really like to get the keys back. You know boss would never let me hear the end of it if I would let you have the car overnight. He'd probably think you're picking up a bunch of hookers. Martin's tired voice complained, giving Wyan a headache. Fine, I'll return the car. Just wait about 20 minutes. Oh my goodness. She answered quickly, not wanting to hear his mopey voice for another second. Her phone had bad audio quality, so also not working wonders on his tone. Only 20 minutes. Martin hung up instantly, letting Wyan go. So, oh my god. Why did I say it wrong? Okay, let me say it again. Martin hung up instantly, letting Wyan sigh in relief. Tim, I gotta go. Work's ending and I need to return the car. Wyan gathered her stuff from the couch, including the crumbled picture of the tunnel. Let me show you out. Tim smushed his cigarette in the ashtray as well, getting up slowly. So, when do you have time to meet? So, when would you have time to meet? Wyan asked politely, waiting for him to unlock the front door and let her out. How does tomorrow at Rosewood Park sound? Tim fumbled with the lock for a bit before finally being able to let her out. Perfect. I'll meet you in the parking lot at 9 a.m. Good? The cold evening air breeze flowed through her hair, ruffling it up a bit. Tim shrugged. Fine by me. With a smile, Wyan walked towards her car, unlocking it. Because she definitely locked it. She definitely locked it. Waving at him before getting in completely. Tim waved back, waiting for her to start the car, and then headed back inside, probably locking the door behind him. Wyan drove to the station quickly, dropping off the keys and wishing a bored Martin good night, leaving the station herself. She had no intention on working over hours with a cup of wine waiting at home. Her walking speed increased dramatically, not minding her still injured legs. At home, everything will be better. After a short walk, she finally arrived at her apartment. The front door to the apartment building was never locked, so she just got in, and lucky for her, her apartment was on the first floor. She didn't need to walk thousands of stairs or get mad at the broken elevator that never works. She lived in an apartment number 2, right next to her neighbor, Samantha, a sweet old lady with dozens of birds. But I thought you were going to say dozens of cats, but whatever. She liked Samantha, but despite her new parrot Julian, who just couldn't shut up for a minute. Standing in front of the apartment door, she dug through her leather wallet. She always placed her silver key with her loose change. It blended in nicely. Finding the key, she unlocked her small apartment, entering it quickly and locking the door behind her. The smell of smoke and bird poop from next door filled her nose, relieving her. She was home. Oh, wow. I didn't know it's... Oh, goodness. See? He's begging for attention. Remy in like 20 minutes, okay? Well, actually, you know what? 10 minutes. Anyways, the The apartment was quite big for the price, with a grand total of 3 rooms plus a little patio. Some people might find a patio quite nice, but she tended to avoid it, except for smoking. There was no fence nor bush guarding her from the outside, so anybody could see her or even approach her. Samantha, however, decorated her whole patio with flowers and garden gnomes. She was a stereotypical grandma, and Wyan liked that. Her own patio was overgrown with weeds and other pests. The only thing actually watering it was the Alabama weather, which wasn't quite wet. Wyan made a beeline towards the kitchen, searching the cupboards for her stash, finally finding it below the sink. Her stash was a collection of plastic cups she stole from different people's barbecues. She sold all of her actual glasses and silverware at the local flea market, hungry for money. It was times like those when she hated her smoking addiction the most. Not only because it was slowly killing her, but also because it costed so damn much. She had 2 people to take care of. Grabbing one of the see-through cups, quickly smell tasting it. She had to make sure it wasn't a used one. Lucky for her, it was clean. With the cup in hand, she exited the kitchen into the living room, which was kind of the same room as the kitchen. It was a luxury to think she had 4 rooms. A white, large box placed on the coffee table in front of her worn-out brown couch. Kneeling beside the box, she searched for a little dispenser, smiling when she finally spotted it and squeezed some good old wine in the box into her cup. The cheap strong liquor filled her cup almost to the brim. She was only gonna have 1 cup. She did still have some work to do. Standing up, she balanced her cup in her hand. Wine stains can still look like blood, and as a detective, that isn't welcomed. A beaten-up wooden desk was forced into the little corner of the living room, taking up as little space as possible. Placing the fully filled cup of wine on the table next to a really old computer. Wyan took a seat on the nice black office chair Harold gifted her. He gave it to her for her 25th birthday. Yes, probably was her 25th birthday. Little did Harold know that his old office chair was the fanciest thing in Wyan's apartment. Wyan practically melted into her nice soft leather fabric, of the chair, finally feeling the pain in her legs. This chair alone could replace her couch. After savoring the chair for a bit, she decided to start the computer. She knew that it would take ages before she even reaches the home screen. And depending on how many people are using her upstairs neighbor's internet, it was probably gonna take forever till she actually has a tab open. Getting comfortable, sipping on her wine, she got ready to wait the night away.
What year are we in?
Chapter 7. A loud parrot call woke Wyan out of her slumber, jolting up in surprise. With hurting, tired eyes, she carefully inspected her surroundings. She was still sitting in the same spot as yesterday evening. That means she was asleep on her desk. Whatever, she would blame it on Harold's comfortable chair. If it wouldn't have been so comfortable, she would have been forced to go to bed. Sadly, she knew that was unlikely. It was an unlikely story. She once fell asleep on the floor, being too lazy to stand up and go to her actual bed. The large amount of wine and cheap alcohol she kept drinking also never helped her sleeping issue. Her back ached and her head hurt like hell. Breathing seemed a bit harder, her lungs being abnormally tight. Noticing her filled ashtray next to her, along with yesterday's half-emptied cigarette pack, she couldn't really control her smoking when she was tired. That means she would have to go buy a new pack at the gas station today. Quitting smoking for good wasn't an option yet. It was just so calming, yet so breathtaking and cancer-giving. Slowly but surely, she managed to get herself out of the chair and onto her still bloody legs. We are under care. I just realized we are very underkept. Very underkept. Slowly but surely, she managed to get herself out of the chair and onto her still bloody legs. She would have to change and take a quick shower before she left, and she didn't even know what time it was. She had to meet Tim at 9 and hit up the station before she leaves. Glancing over at herself, she read the orange digits showing on the built-in timer. She could take a long shower as it was only 7 a.m. The bad news is if it was 7 a.m., she basically only had slept about 2 hours. Shrugging, she made her way onto the small bathroom. She had seen worse. The thing is that during the entire time she only got entry 40, Marble Hornets was way too long. The bathroom was really cramped. The previous owners needed a bath instead of a shower. Wyan always liked showering better, but with the tiny amount of money she had for herself, she could never replace it. Wyan was a smoker, a bad one at that, so she was always kind of smell of nicotine and ashes. She hated smelling suspicious, making sure she had always had deodorant and mints with her. Sure, she sometimes forgot to pack them, but she never leaves the house without a shower or a nice spray of perfume. Freeing herself from yesterday's dirty clothes, she practically jumped into the tiny green bath. She never showered long. The water bills always scared her. Grabbing the old soap bar, she soaped herself up and rubbed off all the dirt and the blood while humming to a song she heard on the radio. Feeling clean enough, she exited the bathroom, grabbing a freshly washed fluffy white towel. She loved that towel to death and always washed it by hand with care. It almost felt like a morning hug. Wearing only a towel, she brushed her teeth thoroughly, as her smoking also ruined her teeth if she isn't careful. Finishing off with a mouthful of mouthwash, she made her way to the bedroom. Her bedroom wasn't anything spectacular, with just a bed and a simple dresser, the home of the small amount of clothes she owns. The dresser was really dusty, reminding her that she really needed to go on a cleaning spree. Taking out everything that was needed, she got dressed. Her usual outfit mostly included a white or blue button-up shirt and tight blue jeans. It was the cheapest and most comfortable, while also being suitable for work. Today she was going with a dark blue shirt and the only jeans she had left. Getting dressed quickly, she checked the time again. It was now 8 and the perfect time to get the hell out of her house. Getting her big boots and brown jacket ready, she left the house, taking a glance, hoping it was not too cold. Hopefully, she won't regret not taking her scarf. Walking in a fast pace, she raced the gas station, quickly smiling at Militia, while buying 2 cigarette packs, this time heading out in a hurry. Martin gave her the car keys once again, still making her sign that stupid form, which she kind of got used to. Then finally heading towards Rosewood Park. The video entry she watched carefully yesterday evening changed her whole view on the park. She used to see it as her childhood playground, but now, after those disturbing videos, she didn't know what to think of it. Those videos were so unbelievable in so many ways. She really gets why nobody called the police. Wyan herself didn't know if she wanted to believe it. If Tim, Jay, and that disturbing Alex was just trying to mess with the police, and probably just to scare a few kids. After a few minutes, she finally stopped at the parking sign once again. The parking sign once again, pulling into the almost abandoned parking lot. Wyan spotted 2 figures talking to each other, one leaning against the handicap sign, smoking. The other, she had a slight suspicion that the smoking man was most likely Tim, but who was the other? Alex, I think. Parking the police car next to a normal silver one, she got out, adjusting her jacket, feeling the cold breeze already. Making sure to lock the door, she made her way towards the 2 men who have seemed to notice her, looking directly her way. Recognizing Tim immediately, smiling towards him and looking at his partner curiously, noticing a large video camera in his hands. "Hello, Wyan." Tim smiled politely, shaking her hand. "Good morning, Tim." And Wyan turned towards the other dude, kind of recognizing him from the videos she just watched yesterday. "So I guess this is Jay?" Tim nodded, placing a hand on Jay's shoulder while blowing a bit of smoke in his face. Jay turned his head uncomfortably, avoiding the smoke. It almost seemed like they had a little fight, not seeming to get along quite well. Jay was pretty skinny and taller than Tim. Her guess was about 5'10" or something like that. His face was pretty interesting to look at. Not weird or anything, and definitely not unpleasant, just a bit unique. A bit of brown hair could be seen from underneath a tan brown basketball cap. He actually seemed like a nice guy. Nice to meet you, Jay. I'm Detective LN, but you can just call me Wyan. Like one does when meeting new people, she stuck out her hand, smiling nicely. He knew more about this case than anyone, and she needed to be in his good books. Jay hesitated a bit before really shaking her hand, showing her a wimpy smile, keeping his camera on her face. Can I see your badge? He fumbled with his camera a bit, having directly pointing it at her. Yeah, sure, but I will have to ask you not to film it. She always carried her badge with her, tucked it away in her back jean pocket. Showing the suspicious Jay her badge, he inspected it slowly, his camera pointing up to the ground. Seeming pleased, Jay looked at Tim, who was standing next to him, handing Wyan back her badge. Tell me again why the police got involved in this. He seemed kind of pissed, biting the inside of his cheek nervously. I'm not the one who posts everything on the internet. What do you think was going to happen? Tim let his cigarette fall to the ground, stomping it a bit angrily. She came for you for another reason. Could you not maybe, I don't know, lie? Jay seemed like a pretty chill guy, but now he seemed a bit aggressive. Excuse me, Jay, may I add something? Jay seemed a bit startled, looking back to her looking back to her camera once again on her. I think Tim was trying to lie, but unfortunately I spotted you guys at the tunnel a few days ago, talking about something rather suspicious. So I paid him a visit, and he, like a responsible civilian, told me about the Marble Hornets, and now I'm here. Wyan just needed to pitch in. It was in her nature. Jay didn't seem to like her little statement that much, turning towards Tim, giving him an angry look. If it makes anything better, I won't report everything immediately, considering it a little gift for a childhood friend. Tim glanced at Tim sweetly before turning serious again, except if it involves murder or any other serious crimes. Don't worry, we would report a murder. Jay commented quickly. Wyan stared at him blankly. Weren't you the one who told Tim to lie about a murder in a sketchy tunnel? Okay, guys, are we not going to look around the park or not? I almost finished my box of cigarettes and I just bought them. Tim sounded annoyed, gently pulling Jay away from Wyan. Then stop smoking so damn much. Jay passed him angrily, heading into the woods. Tim watched Jay a bit amazed, placing his hands in his pockets. You know, I never see him in this defensive before. He's really attached to this stuff. Tim looked back at Wyan, who was stowing away her badge, fixing her shirt a bit. People never really have a good response to cops. Wyan lightly patted Tim's back, walking in front of him, especially when their friends rat them out. Tim sighed, following the two back into the park. He kind of wished would just burn down. Okay. I mean, she really said, you ratted him out, fool. I'm like, but it's not a good, why are you complaining? If he did, girl, why are we complaining? We better not be complaining. Also, Jay kind of seemed like a little bit of asshole, but it's okay. I mean, I would be kind of mad, but at the same time, I wouldn't be, because, I mean, who wouldn't report that? Who wouldn't report that? And also, not to mention that she also said that she saw them at the tunnel. I mean, made him an assumption that, yeah, maybe they saw me, but what if they heard us? Like, oh, man, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, there really isn't a really good idea to lie or something like that. But at the same time, you know, snitches get stitches. Gotta follow that rule. We gotta follow that rule, you know? But anyways, back to me. Oh my goodness. I can't tell if our girl is really in deep shit or not. I really cannot tell. Because number one, now they're together And now they're gonna go visit. Also, don't mind the background noise. That's my dog. He is craving attention right now. I will give him the attention whenever I'm done. So, which will be like in a couple minutes. Let me know what you guys think will happen next. Will Wyan be in deep trouble? Will she meet some people that you really don't want to meet? Will she be forced to join in some type of thing and whatnot? Like, you know, proxies or something like that. Which one? See, he's being so mean to me. Okay. Anyways, but you know what? Let me know in the comments down below. I personally think they're gonna get into really deep trouble. Something's gonna happen where we end up getting hurt, or we end up getting pulled into something that we did not know we were gonna get involved in. But let me know your thoughts. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more amazing videos, guys. But sadly, yo girl's gotta go. She got a restless throat, and also gotta make that recycled paper. Gotta check on it about now. So anyways, bye and peace, y'all.